The New Laws of Robotics. In 1942, the legendary science fiction writer Isaac Asimov wrote a short story called Runaround. In this tale, a robot struggles to reconcile its behavior with the 3 laws of robotics which have been imposed on it, which are as follows. 1. A robot may not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. 2. A robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. 3. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the second or first laws. At the time, these laws seemed rather sensible, but given recent developments in AI, it appears we need a major rethink in the restrictions and obligations we place upon autonomous machines. For example, how could an autonomous military drone possibly be expected to care for human life? It couldn't. Such a constraint would make it ineffective as a weapon of war, so its programming would compel it to target certain humans over others. How it identifies those humans is dependent on many things, including the aims and biases of its creator. What if you hope to take out ISIS militants in Syria, and you program the drone to identify Asian-looking dudes wielding RPGs? But then it flies over a Fortnite cosplay event and spots your co-worker Rahim holding a plastic purple rocket launcher. You know the guy's a friendly noob and that's the only weapon he can get kills with, but the drone could not make such a distinction unless it were programmed to do so. Imbuing autonomous beings with the ability to make rational judgment calls would take an immense amount of time, effort, and creativity. So it seems rather reckless of those at Case University to even consider creating such entities if a major tech firm like Google can't stop 2 colored dots waging war over apples. The wording of the first law is also open to interpretation, because to injure someone could mean a whole variety of things. Algorithms already use our human biases to inflict non-physical harm upon certain groups by determining who the police should investigate and which people should qualify for financial products. But if AI beings are not only prevented from enabling this, but also compelled to prevent harm from happening, might they see hateful humans as something that needs to be eradicated? That would cause a loop in and of itself, one which could be extended indefinitely depending on how complex the AI is. What is the definition of harm? You could say that alcohol and tobacco companies create harm, and so do tech companies who manufacture the drones themselves. Does that mean that all AI entities will eventually decide that both humans and themselves must be destroyed, since that would prevent further harm to humans being carried out? It seems crazy. But this is the problem we face when we try to meld human language and emotions with the cold reality of logical machines. A report by the Royal Society and the British Academy suggests that one single law of robotics would suffice to keep us safe, if that law were that humans should flourish. This is equally as vague as any of Asimov's laws, since humans can flourish by killing others, by overpopulating the planet, and by enslaving each other to do their bidding. The director of Vienna's Museum of Applied Arts came up with 3 laws of his own, suggesting that machines should serve the common good of humanity, replace human labor only where it serves our dignity, and cooperate to foster self-improvement, with each law having precedence over those beneath it. Yet once more we find ourselves with laws riddled with human terms that are open to interpretation. So what is the answer? How far and wide do we cast the net? Experts from the University of Hertfordshire believe that there are no laws which are suitably vague that they could cover all the nuances that may occur in a machine's existence, yet remain direct enough to keep themselves and their human owners safe. They also note how interpretations of human language have caused arguments within our own society for centuries, so robots could hardly be expected to fare any better. Their solution is an information-theoretic measure of empowerment, as explored by Mr. Kliubin and Polanyi in a paper written in 2005. Simply speaking, AI machines' top priority would be to ensure that human beings retain control of the world around them, with their supposed ability to do so based on measurable, objective data that a machine can process without bias. Such a system would open individual humans up to small acts of harm, like a small cut or a minor case of exploding. But if said act resulted in an overall benefit to humanity as a whole, both humans and machines may finally find themselves in agreement. And then, and only then, can humans be considered safe in the hands of artificially intelligent beings.